Item 7, vote on a resolution recommending an appropriation and bond authorization in the maximum amount of $4,200,000 for the road, sidewalk, bridge, bulkhead repair project.
I think everybody's got a spreadsheet. That's our spreadsheet. It's a spreadsheet with a list of roads. Yeah, proposed roads, bridges, all that good stuff.
I got a whole epistle here.
It's hard to read for the nerd principle. So, this is the third installment of a multi-layered program. It's been going about every 4 years, authorizing monies towards our infrastructure, roads, sidewalks, bridges, drainage, etc. This is actually the first time really, other than Waterside Lane, really had any much of a bridge component in here. And that's because you really only see one in here, but there's two bridges that had 50% reduction in the ratings in the last 2 years, because they do them every 2 years now. The bridge, I would say probably a lot of that's attributed to the storms that we've had, with the flows. They're both over the Methanides or whoever.
And who does those ratings?
They hire an independent engineer who goes out and does the ratings. Used to be annually, now it's every 2 years because of the budget cuts. Kelsey Town Bridge, which is in here because that's something that we had talked about that's probably going to have to be triggered from a higher program, which would be a local bridge program, plus possibly, because it's going to be much more costly. Carter Hill is in here. And then we have the ongoing bulkheads, which with the state, with their infinite wisdom, I don't know how many years that's been going on, Pete, with the permitting.
Permitting in 3 years.
Which bulkheads?
North side of Firehouse side, and the parking lot side, both sides.
So the scrap, the stone stuff.
That would be easy.
What?
That would be easy.
That would be easy.
Oh,
No, they're talking about sheets and towing in sheets and
who was talking?
state of Connecticut.
Yeah.
So what's happened is the permitting has taken so long now that's driven the cost up, so there's an additional $150,000 for the monies we already set aside in 2011 in this infrastructure package here.
Substantial design changes required by.
Did that take you up to the bridge, the railroad bridge?
And the state of
You gotta
Connecticut,
go beyond that?
No,
What?
the state of Connecticut gets to set, isn't that our river?
no.
It's Office of Wildlife, Sounds, Army Corps,
Army Corps of Engineers,
FEMA.
FEMA.
We don't own any water. We own Esser's Pond, but we can't do anything.
Everybody's got to have their
Do we?
I'm not sure.
The Hessers on.
So, and just to, I mean, it's may not be our, this is the road study that was done in 2002. I was actually on the Public Works Commission when Ben Hagan did this road study. Now, we've been picking away at this. And if, you can see, the orange highlighted, look at all of them, right? Now, those are the ones we've done.
Orange is done.
Orange is done.
What was the size of the first two installments that the place had?
$2+ million and almost 3.
It's been about 5 minutes.
Yeah. So look at the orange numbers, the orange, there's not a lot of orange. This is ongoing, and we're still catching up.
So Pete, on these streets, so you're resurfacing,
Some
curving?
Yeah, I mean, there's all different kinds of treatments for the roads recommended. Some are resurfacing. Some are actual complete restoration, which means a reclaiming and completely new road. And, I gave you what Willie, we've recommended to Willie, what has to be done on each road is actually listed on this form with probable unit costs and the amount of tonnage of asphalt, depending on what we're recommending.
And
that's
most
where
of
we
this
come up.
road work you do in-house, other than the bridge?
We bid it out, we did it.
You have to bid it out. We do some of the
Bid it
drainage.
out?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we don't have.
Yeah. We don't have the equipment.
Some of the drainage.
We do some of the drainage, we've done mostly all the drainage on these projects, but the paving and reclaiming and the asphalt work, we don't have the equipment nor the manpower to do that.
So it's a bidding process where you have to get
You use a bidding process, so you can use state pricing. State bids it out for you, but sometimes you do better without going through state pricing.
And is there a time limit when this has to be completed?
It's the limit of whatever the bonding is. Usually they allow 4 to 5 years for this to be completed. I mean, to be honest with you, to answer the Vince question, try to do this in 1 year would be, as long as you hire me 2 other people to work with me.
No,
I mean, no, but I mean, when you did that,
I would be able to get around town.
on this type of stuff, it's 3 to 4 years.
There's 3 to 4 years on this project.
but when you bid it out, you said you have to complete the project.
Oh, yeah. Except for Salt's Point, we tell them they don't have to finish for at least a couple
Well,
of
you
years.
need to come back. I have water in my garage.
No,
No,
and estimated costs, if you look, Pete's got some prices, and liquid asphalt is $85 a ton.
Yeah.
I mean, now, we all know the price of oil's come down. Hopefully it keeps going down. We may be able to add to this list.
I'll give you, for instance, the last bonding package, we started paving at $68 a ton
It was over
in
100.
place, and the last job we finished was $115 a ton.
so all of this is bid out.
So it's all estimated,
All
and, yeah,
And these projects are outside of the other infrastructure repairs that you
absolutely,
do.
have nothing to do with that. No.
What's reclaiming?
Reclaiming is when you go in, you actually bring a machine in and grinds the road back up, totally, just pulverizes the asphalt, and then you use that to grade out and restructure the base for the road, and then you top it with 2 layers of asphalt to wind up with a brand new road at that point in time. As opposed to overlaying where you leave the existing road, you do a shim coat to take out the bumps and the variability in the road, and then you overlay that with 1.5 inches of fresh
And
asphalt.
you only can do asphalt certain months of the year, right?
Pardon me?
There's a limited amount of time for asphalt.
Yes,
You can't do it cold months or something.
no,
December, middle of December, usually the plant's closed. That's why getting this going and getting a vote in December this was the driving factor. None of the other projects were as much of a driver as this because of the fact that in order, if it passes, get specs done up on the roads, there's gonna be engineering involved, we're gonna have to bring in either Jacobson, Tom Stevens, maybe multiple to spec these projects out, to get it out to bid, so that you wanna get going in the spring. You want out to bid in the spring.
Those numbers are in here though.
That's all the soft costs are in
Yes.
this, sure. Traffic control, all that happy stuff, because we have to pay our fines to sit in our cars out there.
And this is part of a plan that was first appropriated, like, or talked about in 2002. So this is like,
We think this study was done in '02. And nothing was done with this study until 2006, '07.
Well, you wanted to update it.
Well, we actually started implementing some of the stuff in 2007, so when we did our first couple $1 million.
$2 million.
And then in 10, 11, we did another $2 or $3 million, and now here we are again. So.
a good solid lifespan for a road is, if you maintain it, is up to 25, maybe 30 years. If you maintain them, we haven't been maintaining them, so the road study that was done 12 years ago, you compounded your problem by that 12-year span, where really, we don't really maintain our roads. We do a lot of fix-ups, a lot of emergency patching, a lot of emergency stuff, but we don't
We
maintain
know
it.
that's not true, right?
So we've compounded the problem now, so, you know, you're gonna be playing catch-up for the foreseeable future.
There are roads in here, they said there's roads in the study that said do nothing.
Yes,
And now,
now you need to do
In
something.
4 years.
13 years later, 12 years later, need something done.
They're gonna need something.
Right, so.
What do you say? It's health and safety, really.
Well, getting them to a point and then keeping the money in the budget on an annual basis to keep up with it is the key.
Well, the request is $500,000. This year.
We'll see. It's been going up a little bit every year, we've been moving up on it, been doing a good job with that.
There's no money from the state that we get for?
No, we get, this is what we do. We get TARF money, they call it, it's not real tariffs, TARF, that stuff. This is town aid road money. The town aid road money is based on your miles of road, paved roadway, and then in order to get the money, it's similar to the LoCIP, local capital improvement money. You have to submit what you actually spent to get that money. And I think the TARF money for this town is like $50,000, that's it.
And they deducted, when you have a hurricane, you have to do work on that road, they then deduct that money that they gave you
No hard.
from your 75%.
That's
So very good.
Yeah, because if you already done work on that
Because
road.
you already
you
done
got-
work on that road. And if you didn't do work on that road, it's all your roads that are under that kind of.
Yeah, so we get a map just about every year from the states, and you still have these roads? Oh, yeah.
And then some.
Okay.
Do you still have these roads?
Questions?
So, you run this, when
This
this,
is a public works program.
so you drive this bus?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you never get registered.
No, but I just wondered what practical.
It goes through Public Works. I mean, it's a collaborative effort, you know, I mean, I have to hire people to do different things, clearly.
Well, as you said, all the work is done, not outside your,
The work is done outside of my crew, but that does not relieve the amount of work that goes through my office, or my secretary, or I usually have to hire somebody to go out. And I can't be 10 places at once, so we usually hire a clerk to go out.
We do the clerk of the works deal, like we did with Bush with the building project, we, you know, our eyes and ears.
Mary can go.
A lot of requests for Mary.
Something else to
We
do.
did not, pretty soon.
Get out of the house here.
No process, we did for the school.
Any other questions about the spreadsheet or the Board of Finance resolution? You guys know the drill, I mean, need a motion and a second.
I'll make a motion to approve the bond authorization for $14 million for road sidewalk and
Again, this goes to town meeting,
Town meeting.
December 3rd,
December 10th is time.
December 10th.
Yeah, 3rd is
Nothing's
public
December.
information.
Oh, that's
Public information.
Okay, I'll
Okay.
second.
Since you don't have a public hearing, I have a public information.
Okay. And you're gonna have the public
She
information,
seconded.
public information meeting here in this building?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the 10th, and then we adjourn referendum on the 17th. Okay. We have a first, we have a motion and a second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Abstentions?